Despite her status in life and accomplishments, Barbara Pierce Bush is easygoing, humble and eager to share her story. She is jolly and passionate about the things that interest her.
When I was a university student, I became obsessed with thinking about global health issues.
Over 10 years later, she still works with young people who want to see a better future. Barbara is the founder of Global Health Corps.
Global Health Corps is building the next generation of global health leaders. And so what we do is we competitively recruit young leaders who will serve for a year in the field of global health.
Global Health Corps is a leadership program that also does placement for fellows aged 30 and below. It partners with organizations like Chapego, an affiliate of Johns Hopkins University. The organization works to improve the lives of women and children through training frontline health workers.
The person in charge simulates the cry.
During the 2008 AIDS 2031 conference which she attended, the host put a challenge to the audience which got her thinking.
You know, he said, my generation has stepped up and we're retiring. What is your generation going to do to change health issues?
Last year, the U.S. suffered a blow when Ebola, a disease previously associated with Africa, spread its tentacles far and beyond.
I'd been in Uganda 2 years ago when there was an Ebola outbreak, and it was dealt with. The health system here was strong enough to deal with it. And I think that story often isn't told. And so when a patient has Ebola in the United States, it turns very inward, thinking about what does this mean for the United States, where actually the conversation needs to be, what does this mean for the world and how do we fit into it?
She was 18 when her father, George W. Bush, became president. She says her life didn't change much.
My family wanted to make sure that everything was very normal for us.
Barbara hardly lived in the White House since she was away at college most times. She says it was comforting to have people who did not treat her different.
I kind of gained better insight into what to look for if someone was, around me for reasons that may not have been genuine.
But no doubt, being the first daughter came with some privileges.
Amazing exposure to the world. I've gotten to travel, I've gotten to meet remarkable people.
Her father was perhaps one of the most criticized U.S. presidents in recent times.
I see my dad as a dad, and that's how I know him. And I wanted to be able to maintain that. I knew that he was doing the best job that he could. And I know, and this is the same for anyone in a government position, we never know all the other factors that are going on.
Barbara is a fraternal twin, and she says the bond with her sister is one of the things that has made her life easier.
And we both had someone else who understood completely what was going on. And that was really helpful.
Her sister is married, but she is not.
Honestly, I haven't had time. I feel like I've been working a lot, and I've loved it. And for me, it's something that I definitely want to have a family. It's just kind of a matter of when the right time is.
She is from a political family stretching several generations, but Barbara has no political ambitions.
I think that you can work on policy in a lot of ways that don't have to do with politics.
One of the people she looks up to is Noreen Kaleba, the founder of the AIDS support organization.
Someone who lost someone that they loved and used that not to be sad and disengaged, but used that as a reason to engage in the world and try to change AIDS is inspiring. And it's a reminder that we all should do that.
Her mother too is one of her heroes.
If she believes in something, then she works on it.
She hopes to see a world where everyone has access to information and good health care.
If you compare what's happened in Liberia to when there's been Ebola in Uganda, you see what a good health system can do.
Her grandmother, whose name she shares, inspires her.
I was really taught that if you believe in something that you think is unfair, you can use your voice to change it. But you need to have done your homework and know what you're talking about.
Her grandfather, the 41st U.S. President George Bush Sr., also had a huge impact on her life.
He's 90 years old, and so he seems to come from a different time. But he's super loving, and he's very, very humble and kind.
The 9/11 terrorism attack on the U.S. in 2001 hit her hard. Barbara heard about it on the radio while in college as she and her roommate prepared for class.
shocked and surprised and confused. It's interesting how different the world seems now based on that.
Her thoughts on terrorism?
I think it's really critical to acknowledge that poverty is very related to terror. And I think that there's a lot of social justice issues at play that we also need to address.
And on women finding a place in a competitive world dominated by men?
Any country in the world isn't fair if 50% of the population doesn't have the same opportunities as the other half of the population.
She's totally relaxed and joyful, spending time with her family, especially her niece. She gets emotional talking about her.
It's amazing that it's happy and it's making me cry. It's just made our life so happy.
Her advice to young women striving to make it in life?
There are great people in our communities. We just need to ask them, will you support me? Will you think about this with me? Will you be my thought partner?
And how she would like to be remembered?
For being part of a community of young leaders who won't accept the status quo, who can dream about a different future and then work really hard to get to that future.
Josephine Karunji, NTV.